Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. The Giants appear to be poised to take a quarterback early in this year's NFL draft, now that they're finally getting serious about finding Eli Manning's successor. Taking one with the 6th overall pick is definitely in play. They could draft one early in the second round, too. Here's a look at some of their possible choices. Dwayne Haskins, Ohio State pros. He had a monster season for the Buckeyes, 70% completion rate, 4,831 yards, 50 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. He's got good size, 6'3", 220 pounds, and a big arm. Rated by many to be the top quarterback in this draft. Cons: he was only a one-year starter, and despite the gaudy stats, was inconsistent at times. Historically, quarterbacks from Urban Meyer's offensive system struggle in the NFL. Early projection: possible top 10 pick. Drew Lock, Missouri pros. He's been compared to Patrick Mahomes for his athletic ability, strong arm, and ability to make every throw. Good size, 6'3", 226 pounds, and accuracy. Also known for his quiet leadership, somewhat like Manning, according to one scout. Cons: he's been compared to Jay Cutler for having a big arm, but making some questionable decisions. He's had some trouble with forcing throws into coverage. Early projection: possible top 10 pick. Daniel Jones, Duke pros. He's a big, 6'5", 220 pounds, lanky guy and strong pocket passer with a decent ability to run. He's smart and well prepared for the NFL thanks to Blue Devils coach David Cutcliffe, who also coached both the Manning brothers. He ended his career with a huge game in the Independence Bowl, and then was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. Cons: he did not have great numbers at Duke. His sophomore season, 2017, was especially shaky. He's had fumble and injury issues that can be concerning. Giants also have a history with big Duke quarterbacks Dave Brown that their fans would like to forget. Early projection: likely first-rounder, possibly in the top half. Kyler Murray, Oklahoma pros. A tremendous athlete with a strong arm who can really throw on the run. He was brilliant during his Heisman Trophy winning season, completing 69% of his passes for 4,361 yards with 42 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. He also ran for over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns, making him the dual-threat quarterback everyone seems to want. Cons: he's listed at 5'10", 195 pounds, and some think he's really around 5'8". He's not the prototypical pocket passer, which means some teams will have to change their entire offense to fit his style. Also, he's got a first-round contract waiting for him in baseball. Will he fully commit to football? Will he promise to do that before the draft? Early projection: a bit of a wild card. Could go in the first round. Some think he'll slip to the second. Will Greer, West Virginia pros. He had a good season for the Mountaineers and has a good, accurate arm. His size is right, 6'2", 221 pounds, gets rid of the ball quickly, and generally makes good decisions. Cons: his arm is average, at best. He also did not have a good performance at all during Senior Bowl week. And he has some baggage. His college career started at Florida, but he was suspended there for testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug. He claimed it was an over-the-counter supplement. One scout labeled him high maintenance. Early projection: a day 2 pick. How high will depend on his combine and pro day performances. Ryan Finley, NC State pros. A very accurate passer throughout his career, Finley makes smart, quick decisions and has good touch. Has enough mobility to avoid a pass rush. Good size, 6'4", 208 pounds. Cons: more solid than spectacular, not a dazzling playmaker. Not a dual-threat quarterback at all. Would rather stay in the pocket. His arm strength is okay, not great. Early projection: more of a third-round pick. If he sneaks into the second round, it won't be at the top. Jarrett Stidham, Auburn pros. He's got an accurate arm and he put up big numbers for Baylor in 2015 as well as his first season at Auburn in 2017. Many think he's the smartest quarterback in the draft. He's considered a very good leader and incredibly tough player. Makes generally good decisions to protect the football. Cons: an underwhelming season for the Tigers dropped his numbers from the year before and his stock took a hit too. Doesn't have a particularly strong arm. His performance at the Senior Bowl was as underwhelming as his season. Early projection: late day 2, unless some GM falls in love with his potential and takes him in the second round. Clayton Thorson, Northwestern Pros: he's a tough quarterback who started 53 straight games. At 6'4", 227 pounds, he's big enough and he's got the ability to run, though the stats didn't really show it. He's generally accurate. He also performed despite some terrible surrounding casts. Cons: he's 1 year removed from a torn ACL, and he missed the Senior Bowl due to a high ankle sprain. He is streaky and has had some very disappointing games in big spots. Early projection: probably a third-rounder, due in part to the recent injuries, but a good combine and pro day could vault him up. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning throws in a second quarter against the Tennessee Titans at MetLife Stadium. Robert Deutsch, USA Today Sports: Justin Tuck and Osi Umenyiora have seen Eli Manning at the pinnacle of his career, both winning 2 Super Bowls with Manning as quarterback, so of course they still have faith that he can get the job done, yet the Giants have a difficult decision to make with their 38-year-old quarterback and whether or not to draft his successor to either replace or learn from under Manning. Umenyiora, however, believes that while his former teammate may not be able to make some of the same throws as he could 10 years ago, the Giants should steer clear of drafting a quarterback and that Manning has years left. Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback Dwayne Haskins drops back in the pocket during the second quarter against the Penn State Nittany Lions at Beaver Stadium. Matthew O'Haron, USA Today Sports: Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. 2 years ago the Giants felt some urgency to find Eli Manning's heir apparent, and they gave some serious thought to taking a quarterback early in the 2017 draft. Last year, they didn't feel any urgency at all and let a lot of potential franchise quarterbacks slide right by. This year, there seems to be a sense of urgency again, which makes sense with Manning turning 38 years old and entering the final year of his contract. The Giants still don't have an answer to who their quarterback will be when Manning is finished. And they seemed to feel like the time to make that decision is now. Dave Gettleman, mandatory credit, Danielle Parhaskaran, USA Today Sports, Danielle Parhaskaran, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. There are still nearly 3 months until the NFL draft, which means draft boards are only in their early stages and there is much scouting left to be done. Only a blurry picture has emerged of what the top 10 looks like. It will come into focus after the scouting combine in late February and the pro days throughout March. With both the Giants and Jets picking in the top 10, though, again, it's never too early to take a peek at what the top 10 might look like. 1. Arizona Cardinals, Nick Bosa, Ohio State February 4, 2019, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. General overall view of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium exterior and the State Farm Arena. The venue is the home of the Atlanta Falcons and the site of Super Bowl 53 between the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams. Mandatory credit, Kirby Lee, USA Today Sports, Kirby Lee. It was the first Super Bowl that people outside the state of Nevada could bet on, and New Jersey was among them. But it wasn't a profitable Sunday for the state. According to the Associated Press, sportsbooks operator in New Jersey saw $34.9 million in wagers, but they lost $4.6 million after having to pay out $39.5 million to winners. That means there were a lot of Patriots fans in New Jersey, who beat the Rams 13-3 with a -2.5 spread. Despite the paybacks, Joe Asher, CEO of William Hill US, which runs 3 total sportsbooks in New Jersey, saw the day as a success. He said Sunday was by far our biggest day ever in New Jersey in terms of handle. It was really good. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. The Giants never once looked like a threat to make Super Bowl 53, and it's hard to envision them right now as a threat to make Super Bowl 54 either. They have so much work to do just to become a winning team again. Right now even a playoff berth feels far away. Their work towards the 2019 season has already begun, of course, and beginning on Monday they are free to start reshaping their roster. There will be some cuts and restructured contracts in the next few weeks, as the Giants get ready for the opening of NFL free agency on March 13th. Here are some of the biggest decisions they face. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady celebrates after a Patriots touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams during the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 53 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Jason Getz, USA Today Sports. Sony Michel scored the tie-breaking touchdown with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter to help the Patriots beat the Rams 13-3 in Super Bowl 53, the lowest-scoring Super Bowl in NFL history, on Sunday. Michel's 2-yard rush capped a 5-play, 69-yard drive orchestrated by Tom Brady to break a 3-3 tie. Julian Edelman totaled 10 catches for 141 yards, while Brady threw for 262 yards and an interception for his 6th championship in his career. Stephen Gostkowski's 41-yard field goal with 1:12 remaining made it a 2-possession game. Vacchiano talks Saquon and Roy. 0 hours 1 minute and 43 seconds. SNY NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano talks Saquon Barkley winning Rookie of the Year, as the Giants still face second guesses about drafting him. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. For most of the season, Saquon Barkley was running away with this award. A late push by Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, though, made it a very close contest. And while it's hard to argue with voting for the quarterback who somewhat resurrected the Browns, and who was outstanding at perhaps the toughest position in sports, this award went to the right person. Barkley, the Giants' 21-year-old running back, was the best offensive rookie in the NFL this year. His numbers certainly prove that: 1,307 rushing yards, 91 catches for 721 receiving yards, making him just the third rookie in NFL history to have 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Add in 15 touchdowns and the fact that he did it behind an offensive line that was terrible at times, on a team that was a miserable 1-7 for the first half of the season, and his credentials glow even more. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. The Giants have no regrets about GM Dave Gettleman's decision to pass on several potential franchise quarterbacks to take Saquon Barkley with the second pick in last year's draft. Gettleman still believes Barkley is a gold jacket player. The Giants have no doubt he made the right call. Around the league, though, it seems the jury is still out. Offensive Rookie of the Year winner Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants during media availabilities for the NFL Honors Show at the Fox Theater. Kirby Lee, USA Today Sports. It's official, Saquon Barkley is the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Giants running back won the award Saturday night, beating out Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield 26.5 votes to 21.5 votes. Colts offensive guard Quentin Nelson placed third with 2 votes. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. On Saturday morning, a small group of NFL media members will huddle in a room in Atlanta and spend hours debating the merits of the 15 Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists. They will try to sell each other on their preferred candidates, make the case for each of them for Canton, before eventually settling on a final group of 5 modern-day inductees. Someday in the not-so-distant future, maybe around 2025 or 2026, a similar group will be debating the Hall of Fame credentials of Giants quarterback Eli Manning. He's a virtual lock to be included on the list of 15 finalists immediately as soon he's eligible. But there remains a good chance that his Hall of Fame candidacy will die right there. November 14, 2016, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. Former New York Giants head coach Tom Coughlin speaks during his New York Giants Ring of Honor induction ceremony during the first half at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Ed Mulholland. USA Today Sports, Ed Mulholland, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archives. Sometime on Saturday, Kevin Mawae, a longtime fixture at center for the Jets, will learn whether he's finally been selected for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It'll be tough, since there are 3 other offensive linemen on the list of 15 finalists. But if he does get the call, the honor would be overdue. He's not the only former Jet or Giant for whom that honor is overdue, of course. Nor is he the only one who figures to be enshrined someday soon. Here's a look at 5 New York football icons who deserve their spot in Canton, and the chances of whether they'll ever actually get their bus. Why Saquon Barkley should be Roy. 0 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley shined during an epic rookie campaign. Just how good was he? Here are the historic numbers. As the masses pack into the Fox Theater in Atlanta on Saturday for the NFL Honors Ceremony, Giants rookie RB Saquon Barkley will walk in a favorite to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. But, unlike Patrick Mahomes, Barkley isn't a lock to win the award he is nominated for. Browns QB Baker Mayfield is also in the running, and some believe he has a great chance to stand on stage with the trophy at the end of the day. The PFWA already named Mayfield its overall Rookie of the Year earlier this offseason, with Barkley winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year, which basically serves as a runner-up. However, the fan-voted Pepsi Rookie of the Year went to No. 26, evening the odds. January 1, 2019, Pasadena, CA, USA, Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback Dwayne Haskins, 7, throws a pass against the Washington Huskies. The 2019 Rose Bowl. At the Rose Bowl, Ohio State defeated Washington 28-23. Mandatory credit, Kirby Lee. USA Today Sports, Kirby Lee. Dwayne Haskins certainly is not shy about his desire to play with the Giants. The Ohio State quarterback grew up watching the Giants and would have no problem assuming a role behind Eli Manning as a backup if he were to be selected by the team he rooted for as a child. "I would love it," he said, per Tom Rock of Newsday. "I grew up watching Eli Manning back when he had Jeremy, Shockey and Amani Toomer and Plaxico Burress. I loved that team." December 30, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley, 26, celebrates after scoring a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys during the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. Even after a season in which Saquon Barkley set rookie records and put himself in position to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, the question remains, was passing on a quarterback the right move for the Giants? Barkley continues to have to answer this question and did so again this week leading up to the Super Bowl, on The Rap Sheet. Mandatory credit, Kirby Lee. USA Today Sports. Kirby Lee. The NFL will reveal the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year on Saturday, and the 2 candidates have decided to make things interesting. Giants running back Saquon Barkley and Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield have a friendly wager on the award. Barkley told Mary Kay Cabot of the Cleveland Plain Dealer that the loser must buy the winner at Jane. September 30, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, dances before a game against New Orleans Saints at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. Odell Beckham Jr. did something nice for the woman that raised him on Thursday, ahead of LAII Super Bowl festivities in Atlanta. The 3-time Pro Bowler surprised his mom with a new car. Beckham's mom, Heather Van Norman, shrieked when she saw the Bo-Rap 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. makes a reception past Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Devontae Bosby during the 1st quarter at Lincoln Financial Field. The striker, USA Today Sports. 2 different sports books believe the Giants are in the middle of the pack among all NFL teams to win Super Bowl 54. The Giants, according to BetDSI Sportsbook, are at 55/1 odds to win the Super Bowl next season, which is relatively close to what the sportsbook BetOnline.ag listed them as 40/1. At 55/1, the Giants have the 20th best odds among all NFL teams, according to BetDSI. Rams are the NFL favorites at 15 odds, while the Chiefs and Patriots are both at 8/1 odds. The Dolphins have the worst odds at 300/1. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley scores a touchdown against the Washington Redskins in the second quarter at FedEx Field. Jeff Burke, USA Today Sports. Giants running back Saquon Barkley was featured in a Visa commercial alongside quarterback Eli Manning back in November. Perhaps he may get another spot during the Super Bowl. Creative Artists Agency, CAA, which represents Barkley, posted a behind-the-scenes video on Twitter of Barkley salsa dancing in a future Visa commercial. New York Giants Dave Gettleman speaks to reporters during a press conference ahead of next week's NFL football draft, Thursday, April 19, 2018, in East Rutherford, NJ. The Giants have the second overall pick in the draft, scheduled to start on April 26 at it. AP photo, Julio Cortez, AP. If Dwayne Haskins is on the board when the Giants make their pick in the upcoming NFL draft and the team wants a quarterback with the pick, would they really pass on him? NFL.com's first mock has the Giants doing just that, selecting Duke QB Daniel Jones instead and letting Haskins slip to the Buccaneers at No. 7. Jones, 21, completed 237 of 392 passes, 60.5%, for 2,674 yards with 22 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in 11 games last season for Duke. December 30, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning, 10, leaves the field after losing to the Dallas Cowboys 36-35 at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhascarin /NorthJersey.com via USA Today Network. Danielle Parhascarin. Phil Simms wants to see QB Eli Manning take the field for the Giants on opening day. He also wants Manning's mystery successor taking notes on Big Blue's sideline. Speaking at a CBS Super Bowl press conference on Tuesday, Simms made it clear New York should spend the next few months planning to draft its next franchise quarterback, and sooner rather than later, they're gonna draft a quarterback this year, Simms said, per New York Post's Steve Serby. I think they should. Time to do it. Eli could handle it. We drafted Dave Brown the first round for the 1992 supplemental draft, when I was with the Giants. It worked out all right. We were great friends. We learned to work together and hung out together and it was awesome. Dave Gettleman. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhascarin. USA Today Sports. Danielle Parhascarin. With less than 3 months to go until the 2019 NFL Draft, Sports Illustrated's Callan Collar's updated mock draft shows high hopes for the Giants' next franchise quarterback. It's been over a month since SI's last mock draft, before Dwayne Haskins led Ohio State to a Rose Bowl title with a 28-23 win over Washington. A week later, Haskins erased the question marks by foregoing his final season of eligibility for the Buckeyes and declaring for the NFL Draft. Now, SI has the Giants selecting Haskins in the first round as their No. 6 overall pick on Thursday, April 25 at 8 p.m., the first day of the draft, January 28, 2018. Orlando, Florida, USA. Los Angeles Rams offensive tackle Andrew Whitworth, 77, against the AFC in the 2018 NFL Pro Bowl at Camping World Stadium. Mandatory credit, Aaron Doster. USA Today Sports. Aaron Doster. The Giants' decision to pay no mind to the offensive tackle that wanted to play for New York as badly as Giants fans wanted him in a big blue jersey surfaced on Tuesday morning. Andrew Whitworth said he hoped to land with the Giants during his 2017 free agency, per NJ Advanced Media's Ryan Dunleavy. Problem was, New York's former GM Jerry Reese batted away 37-year-old Whitworth's heavy interest in the Giants. Just being completely honest, that was a place that my wife and I were very interested in going, Whitworth told NJ Advanced Media. We even told our agent that we would love to hear if there was an option there. We were told there wasn't any interest there. It wasn't something that was ever a viable option for us. A general view of a New York Giants helmet on the turf before the game against the Denver Broncos at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Isaiah J. Downing. USA Today Sports. The Giants are parting ways with veteran OLB Connor Barwin, with the Giants informing him that they will officially be releasing him, reports SNY's Ralph Vacchiano. Barwin posted Tuesday on Instagram. "The journey continues," Barwin wrote. "Thankful for it all." Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. "For the moment, there seems to be only one quarterback in the NFL draft that most talent evaluators think is worthy of a top 10 pick, Dwayne Haskins. If that holds, that means the Giants will have only one shot this April at drafting Eli Manning's eventual successor. And the Jets are perfectly positioned to mess those plans up. Imagine that, the franchise that benefited from the Giants' decision to pass on franchise quarterback Sam Darnold last April could be the one that pushes the Giants' search for a new franchise quarterback even further into the future. That's because the Jets could have several lucrative offers to trade down from their spot at No. 3 to a team that wants to get up over the Giants for a quarterback. FC running back Saquon Barkley runs with the ball during the first half in the NFL Pro Bowl football game at Camping World Stadium. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Giants running back Saquon Barkley recorded 17 yards on offense and also spent some time on defense in Sunday's Pro Bowl as the NFC lost to the AFC 26-7 at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. The Giants' rookie running back had 2 carries for 10 yards and 1 7-yard catch, but NFC coach Jason Garrett put some of his offensive stars on defense. And Barkley wasn't alone. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott and Saints running back Alvin Kamara also played on the NFC's defensive line. Mulling Giants QB options. 0 hours 1 minute and 23 seconds. Ralph Vacchiano gives an update on what the Giants are thinking about when it comes to their QB options this offseason. Eli Manning may live to see another season as Giants quarterback. Per Paul Schwartz of The Post, the Giants appear to moving toward a scenario where Manning is the quarterback in 2019 while his heir apparent acts as an understudy before taking the reins in 2020. It would be akin to the Kansas City Chiefs, which had Patrick Mahomes slated behind starter Alex Smith in 2017 before Mahomes took over this past season. January 24, 2019, Kissimmee, FL, USA. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley, 26, carries the ball during NFC practice for the 2019 Pro Bowl at the Visa Athletic Center at ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. Mandatory credit. Kirby Lee, USA Today Sports. Kirby Lee, is there anything Saquon Barkley can't do? The Giants' rookie running back was put to the test on Thursday in the Pro Bowl skills competition and conquered the showdown like a champion. The challenge began with best hands, then went to precision passing, 40-yard splash, the gridiron gauntlet, and ended on an epic game of dodgeball between the AFC and NFC. Who to watch at the Senior Bowl? 0 hours 0 minutes and 37 seconds is next QB playing this weekend in Mobile, Alabama. From Daniel Jones and Will Greer, who should Giants fans be looking out for? Is the next Giants QB playing this weekend in Mobile, Alabama? Here's who Big Blue should be watching closely at the Senior Bowl. Duke QB Daniel Jones. The Giants will look to figure out their quarterback situation this offseason, and the best option for many at the Senior Bowl is Jones. Standing at 6'5", 220 pounds, the Blue Devil is the prototypical size for a signal caller, and his arm matches his physique. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. What's the best way for the Giants and Jets to catch up to the Patriots and Rams? Stealing some of their players would be a pretty good start. While they won't be able to poach Tom Brady, Todd Gurley, or any of the real elite players on either of the Super Bowl 53 teams, both of teams have a long list of intriguing players who are currently scheduled to become free agents on March 13. Here are 10-5 from the Rams, and 5 from the Patriots, who should interest the New York teams the most. December 17, 2017, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo coaches against the Philadelphia Eagles during the third quarter at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, after a year off the sideline, former Giants defensive coordinator and interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo will put the headset on as the Chiefs' new DC, per NFL Network's Mike Garafolo.